there is no way that we can achieve success in this world and in the next world without working on our level of taqwa. تقوى الإله مداه كل سعادة واتباع أهوى رأس الشيء هبائلا. Taqwa of Allah, respect for Allah, fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is the foundation of our success in this world and in the next world. مداه كل سعادة. On the other hand, when we go after our desires, when we try to please all our desires and ambitions, our ego, وَاتِبَاعُ أَهْوَى رَأْسُ الشَّيْءِ هَبَائِلًا, and that is the captain, that is the main evil which will destroy all of us, which will actually affect and destroy our spiritual life. It will fail us if we try to please our ego, our desires, whatever we want, yes, go for it. Then the result will be catastrophic, it will be dangerous. On the other hand, if we try to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to create a kind of closeness, nearness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is called the taqwa, we will succeed every way. Now this taqwa is a very broad word. It's got a lot of meanings. But inshallah, I'm just going to pick on one aspect of taqwa today, because we have to complete the story that I promised last week, inshallah. So the taqwa, the aspect or the dimension of taqwa that today I will be highlighting about is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated in the Quran. ذَلِكَ وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. That means the taqwa. The taqwa is what? وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ. Whoever respects the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the taqwa. فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. It's a result of our taqwa, our fear for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, sha'a'irullah, again, symbols of Allah, signs of Allah. It actually provides us a very broader meaning for that. The one thing I can tell you, the sha'a'irullah includes any believer, any Muslim. Any Muslim is part of sha'a'irullah. Anything that helps us to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dhikrullah, that is a sha'a'ir, part of sha'a'irullah. Anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala respected, that is sha'a'irullah. The Quran, the masajid, the Kaaba, everything that has something to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that actually reminds us of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is sha'a'irullah. And when we respect that, Quran says when we respect sha'a'irullah, it is a reflection of our taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ذلك وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. So, what I would love to teach myself and all of us is that if we are working towards getting the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is important that we show respect to all our believers, brothers and sisters. We show respect especially to our parents, our elders, as well as people of religion, people of knowledge, ahlul ilm, people of taqwa. We need to show respect to them. Habibuna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَبِحَسْبِ امْرَئٍ مِّنَ الشَّرِّ أَن يَحْقِرَ أَخَاهُ الْمُسْلِمِ. As an evil, it is enough evil, it's big enough as an evil for a person to disrespect or to insult another believer, another Muslim. If we insult a person, that itself is a big, heavy evil. It's a great evil that you have committed. So because when you are insulting a person, a brother, a Muslim brother of you, of course others as well, you are now trying to disrespect the sha'a'irullah, as I said. We've got to be careful about that. So my lovely children around here as well, and others, very important for a believer to respect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala respected. Even accidentally, we should not disrespect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala respected. That is something very important. Ulama scholars says that it's like consuming poison. After eating poison, you can't say, look, it was just accidentally happened. If it's a poison, gone is gone, you will have to face the consequence. So that is exactly about respecting the scholars, respecting the pious people, Waliyy of Allah, Salihin. We have to be careful about disrespecting them. Now that is what we learn from the story that I started last time. And inshallah, three youngsters. And this story was narrated by Imam Ibn Hajar al-Haytami al-Makki in his kitab al-Fatawā al-Hadithiyya. Now because it was not something happened in the time of the Prophet or Sahaba or in the earlier stage, you won't find it in Bukhari or Muslim or Tirmidhi or any hadith book. You will have to take from the words of these ulama. But Imam Ibn Hajar al-Haytami rahimahullah, he actually gives this hikayah, this narration of this incident. There were three students. One of them was the one who actually shared this story with us. His name was Abu Sa'id Abdullah bin Asun. Abu Sa'id Abdullah bin Asun, we'll just call him Abdullah, because it's a long name, you'll get confused, Abdullah. And his very close friend was Ibn Saqa. Ibn Saqa, the second one. And the third one was Abdul Qadir Jeelani. You might have heard the name. If you are a Muslim, you must have heard the name of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jeelani. He came from Jilan and he settled, he's living in Baghdad now, and he's studying from the Madrasa Nizamiyya. So these three students together at this Madrasa, the Darul Ulum Nizamiyya. And then they heard that there was a pious man came from our side, he's visiting our masjid. So obviously when we hear that there are some speakers, some scholars coming from overseas, some from our side, we would love to, normally people would love to go and visit them. Alhamdulillah, that's great. But now these three students, these three youngsters, when they planned to visit, they had different intentions, different plans in mind. And some of us also, out of our ignorance, we do some dangerous things in our life. We'll try to go and, look, I want to prove myself how educated, how learned I am. Or I'm going to show that he's not that smart, he's not a big scholar, and let me go and ask him some very strange, some funny questions, and then he fails to answer, and you enjoy out of it. Some people are like that. So amongst these three, there was Ibn Saqa. He was very smart, he was a very intellectual boy. Intelligent boy. So what he did, he said that, look, I'm going to see how learned he is. I'm going to test his knowledge. And I know a lot better than him. It's kind of pride and, youngster. His age is like that, unfortunately. That was his intention. To test the scholar who just arrived. It's just a guest, you don't even know. So you have to be careful about that. So anyway, Abu Sa'id Abdullah bin Asun, the other person who shared the story, he said that my intention was, I heard that the man who came, he is a very pious man, and when he makes dua, Allah accepts his dua. Allah actually answers his prayer. So I'm going to ask him to make dua for me so that I become a good businessman. I get a lot of money. Because I'm struggling here, so I need to become a good businessman. That's what I'm going to ask him. Now the third person, Abdul Qadir Jeelani, he said that, well look, my intention is, my friends, I just want to go and visit him so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of that barakah of that person, he may protect my iman and make me a good person. That's it. Subhanallah, these three boys, they went, and as soon as they greeted him, this sheikh, a visitor, he said to Ibn Saqa's face first and said, look, you had a plan to ask me these many questions. These are the questions that you had. Take these questions that you will ask me, and these are the answers as well. And after telling the answer, he said, look, boy, sorry to say, I can see some fire of kufr, now kufr ala wajhik, on your face. That's it. That's it. Disrespect is very expensive. costly. As I said earlier, can be poison, destructive. And he said to Abdullah, the one who is narrating the story, to us, look, you will have very good position. Allah will give you a good position in the palace of the king, and you will become a rich businessman as well. To the third person, Abdul Qadir Jeelani, he said to him, look, a time will come in Baghdad, you will sit on a chair, and Allah will elevate him, and you will have to say that قَدَمِ عَلَىٰ رَقَبَةِ كُلِّ وَلِيٍّ, that my foot is on the neck of all the wali that will be coming after. Now that is a metaphoric way. It means that all the other awliya kiram will have to listen to Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jeelani. This was the third person, Abdul Qadir Jeelani. He heard this one from the Sheikh. Subhanallah, the time went on. Ibn Saqa, he became a brilliant scholar, alim. He memorized the whole Quran, very quick to become expert in everything. He is now expert not only in Islamic studies, he's also very good at organizing debates and dialogues against other religions, Christianity and Judaism. Became so excellent. Everyone knows Ibn Saqa, became a popular celebrity in Baghdad. Ibn Saqa is growing that fast. Unbelievable. And then what happened was that because he had so many dialogues and debates with the Christians, and he wins because he was so immersed in the Bible. He knew how to address them, how to defeat them. So he received an invitation from the king of Rome, neighboring Christian country. So look, we invite you to organize a dialogue with our leaders, our Christians here. Ibn Saqa was very happy and excited to go. He went there. Subhanallah. 3 days of debates. He did not give them a chance to win at all. He was doing excellent. The king was so frustrated. He didn't want his religion to lose there, to fail there. So what happened was, subhanAllah, look at this. Accidentally, Ibn Saqa, the young guy, he saw a girl. He saw a girl walking through the garden where he was staying, and then he went and he fell in love with that girl. And he asked her to marry him, and he said, look, I am the princess. I'm the daughter of this king here. How is that going to happen? You're going to talk to my dad. Ibn Saqa, he went and spoke to her dad, who is a king. He said, look, well, this is funny. How can you even think of it? She's a princess, my daughter, and you are just a Muslim scholar from outside, foreigner as well, and you've done so much of damage to my religion. So I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to allow this. And the king said, okay, all right, okay, fine. I know that you love my daughter, but there is one way that you just become Tataraswa. You become Nasrani. You join our religion. Are you ready for that? SubhanAllah. This is the kufr that the Shaykh was saying. This Ibn Saqa, he surrendered. He gave up his religion. He joined the religion of that Christianity, and he got married. He got married to this girl. Ibn Hajar al-Haytami rahimahullah in his Fatawa al-Hadith, he says that after some times, Abdullah, his classmate, the first one, he saw Ibn Saqa lying on the ground after a few years, on the street of Baghdad, somewhere next to a street. He's so sick, full of flies and worms and everything around him. Abdullah, he tried to recognize him. Yes, this is my older friend Ibn Saqa. On the street of Baghdad, what's wrong with him? Then he asked him, Ibn Saqa, tell me, why all this? Then he said, look, I've been dumped here, my wife, and people, they dumped me because I got sick after I got married to her. And I became a Christian and all these things. SubhanAllah, Abdullah said, this is shocking. What a brilliant, he was a hafiz, he was a alim, he was expert, he was this, look at him there. On the street of Baghdad like this. And then Abdullah asked him, do you know anything from the Quran that you have memorized? You memorized the whole Quran. Do you remember any verse from the Quran so that because of the barakah of the Quran, you might recover? Then he said, I forgot the whole Quran. Except the one verse. رُبَّمَا يَوَدُّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْ كَانُوا مُسْلِمِينَ. A time will come that non-believers would wish I could have been a Muslim, but that is too late. And then he was fighting to keep his life. He was about to die. Abdullah said that I tried to, make him lie on towards the Qibla, facing Qibla. I've been trying to push him like that's what we should do. When someone is about to die in that situation, dying there, we're going to do that. But every time I try, he doesn't stay on the Qibla, he turns the other way around. Then he died. He left his world with a kufr. SubhanAllah, what we learn from this is, on the other hand, Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jeelani, no one disputes about one aspect, that Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jeelani is one of the most popular Waliyy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what we learn, وَذَلِكَ وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. For my lovely youngsters, because of our ignorance and the way of life as well, the culture that we are growing in, we may tend to disrespect elders. You cannot judge on any individual. Among these people who are sitting here, there could be some Waliyy of Allah, who knows that. Some pious people whose dua maybe, whose heart is connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With anyone, do not show any disrespect to any person. It will be very dangerous. A wali becomes wali only after respecting. A mu'min becomes mu'min, believer, after respecting everyone. And muttaqi, the taqwa is ذَلِكَ وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored and respected Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jeelani, because he expected, every time he expected dua of others, he respected, just in the story itself. Now we also can see so many things. To an extent, my dear believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored him with so many miracles, karamat, that they say, the ulama says, Ibn Taymiyyah, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah says that there is no way that you can dispute or deny the proof to say that Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jeelani, his karamat was so mutawatir, so popular that one karama I will quote with you. By the way, this is not from the Quran or Hadith, because he lived to the 4th century, but it's for us to inspire our iman and say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blesses. This is all from Allah, no one else. No wali, no prophet, no person has anything, any ability, any capacity without being given or granted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what happened to Sayyidatina Maryam radiyallahu anha? Every time Zakaria alayhi salam, when he enters her room, that he would find some miraculously he would find some fruits, off-season fruits there on the table, and he would ask, Maryam, what is happening? Anna laki hada? Where did you get all this from? This fruits, no one entered this room. Where did you get this from? They said, huwa min indillah.